From MontanaSports.com, this is MTN Sports Extra.
Hello, happy Saturday, and welcome to another edition of Sports Extra. Thanks for joining us. First tonight, Montana and Montana State, well, they're on a collision course for a Big Sky title and a top 2 seed in the FCS playoffs when they meet in 2 weeks for the Brawl of the Wild. But first, both teams have to take care of business against unranked opponents. Our coverage begins in Bozeman, where the Bobcats host Weber State. MTN's Casey Conlon has the highlights.
Hello, everybody. Since 2 season opening losses, the Montana State Bobcats had won 7 straight games, all by at least 17 points coming into today. Would they make it 8 straight? Against Weber State, back at home for the first time in a month, Montana State comes out in the camo jerseys honoring the military today. First quarter, Justin Lamson keeps it and is going to easily roll into the end zone for a 7-0 lead. Next Cats possession, Julius Davis. Watch the nice cut in the hole here, and he's got the wheels to go all the way. 52-yard touchdown, 14-0 Cats. So Weber State an early hole. And they find a big play here. Coulter May breaking tackles. He's loose into the secondary, but Caden Dowler punches the ball out from behind. Former Billings West teammate Neil Daly jumps on it. What a momentum swing as Dowler forces his first fumble of his Cats career. And the Cats would pay it off. Adam Jones this time up the middle. From Weber potentially getting on the board to the Cats going up 21-zip. They led 31-7 at half. In the third quarter, they just keep coming at you. Lamson to the air this time, finds Ryan King in the back of the end zone. So many weapons. Cats 66-14 winners today. Big game next week at home against UC Davis. Casey Conlon for MTN Sports.
Hello, everybody. Madness in Missoula as the Montana Grizzlies chasing a 10-0 start for the first time since 2009. Grizz hosting Eastern Washington today. Let's get you to the action as we pick it up. Montana's opening possession, Keali'i Ayat comes out and hits the former Eastern Washington Eagle Michael Wortham in the end zone, making his old team pay. Later in the first quarter, watch this. It's Corbin Hendricks laying out for the one-handed touchdown grab. See it again. It's a 29-yarder. Montana up 14-0 with another big opening quarter. Second quarter now. Eagles trailing 22-zip with a redshirt freshman at quarterback. Jake Skakel lobs it to Kevin Allen. On a wheel route, Allen scores. That's Skakel's first career touchdown. Late in the half, this time watch Allen run the football, and he powers into the end zone right through the line of scrimmage and then dragging a defender. Look at him fight his way in. Suddenly a 22-14 game at halftime, so the Eagles make it interesting. Third quarter, instant reacts from the Grizz. Eli Gilman races through the line. He can also power downhill, drags a man over the goal line. 1:01 left. Eagles within 29-24. They need to recover the onside kick. And it is recovered by the kicker. So Eastern Washington with a shot and no timeouts, driving the length of the field inside the Grizz 10. Skakel tried to spike it, fumbled the spike, and that's how it ends as time expires. Montana 10-0.
We're in the quarterfinals of the high school football playoffs, and in Class B, we have a rematch of last year's title game. MTN's Luke Shelton has more from Manhattan.
Hey folks, Luke Shelton here in Manhattan, and a lot of hype surrounding this quarterfinal game as the Tigers host Malta in a rematch of last season's Class B championship. It's just a little bit warmer than the last time these two teams met, so let's get right to those highlights. Tigers' first drive, and they'll quickly claw downfield, and now Braden Zickman bursts into the end zone for a 5-yard score. 2-point conversion no good, and the Tigers go up 6-0. But after that, defenses start to take over, and on to the second quarter. The ball is out, and there for the fumble recovery is Dawson Hammond. And that'll set up this as Kasner Oxart hits Leighton Erickson for a 5-yard score in the back of the end zone. PAT good, and the Mustangs go up 7-6. Now flash forward to the fourth quarter. Malta still leads by 1, but now check out this absolutely incredible catch from Tyson Pavlik to Zickman, and the Tigers are just outside the red zone. And now Manhattan capitalizes as Pavlik and Matthew Fenno connect for a 21-yard score, and the Tigers rally for a 12-7 victory to punch a ticket to the semis and avenge their loss to the Mustangs in last season's title game. In Manhattan, Luke Shelton, MTN Sports.
It's the quarterfinal round of the State B playoffs where the Three Forks Wolves are taking on the Florence Falcons. Both teams are fighting to stay alive in the playoffs, so let's see who advances to the semifinal round. Three Forks wasted no time in this one as Kanan Reichman airs out the long ball on the first play from scrimmage to Gavin Etchison to jump ahead early. A few drives later, Brody Duchesne rolls out and finds Levi Winters in the end zone for 6, and Florence jumps into the lead. But it didn't last long as the long ball worked all day for Reichman when he found Marcus Pessel downfield and he runs into the end zone. Florence, deep in enemy territory, have a chance to get back in it at the half, and the ball is picked off by Isaiah Gather, but a penalty would wipe the pick 6 off the board. Second half was more of the same for Three Forks as Jace Weissman comes down with Reichert's 3rd touchdown of the game. And despite the Falcons' best efforts to come back, the Wolves would advance to the semifinal round with a 28-20 victory. In Florence, Derek Joseph, MTN Sports.
One of the longest trips in Class B, Eureka, all the way down to Red Lodge as the two battle for a spot in the Class B semifinals. We'll pick this one up with the Lions leading 15-7 in the 3rd and marching. This is quarterback Rogan Lytle with the keeper around the left end. Some tremendous downfield blocking as he scampers in for his 3rd score of the game. Red Lodge has an answer. Little play fake by Brock Johnson. Then he goes up top and squeezes it between 2 defenders to Brody Turnbull. Eureka, though, just continuing to move the ball at will. Lytle plays coy before taking the sneak in for his 4th rushing score of the game. And then the Lion defense seals the deal. Big Joe Banks comes through and wraps up Johnson for the sack as Eureka knocks off Red Lodge 28-13 and moves into the semifinal round.
When we come back, more from the MHSA playoffs and a potential conference title tilt at Carroll College.
MTN Sports Extra continues after this. Welcome back to MTN Sports Extra, powered by MontanaSports.com.
Elsewhere in the Montana High School football playoffs, the Fort Benton Longhorns are seeking their first state title in over 20 years.
On Fort Benton's 2nd drive, Truman Giese punches it in from the goal line. Start of a big day for the senior. It's 6-0. Longhorns do it on defense. The botched snap leads to a punch out in the end zone. Lane Wallace recovers it for a Fort Benton touchdown, and it's 12-0. Ennis finding some life in the 2nd quarter. Rummy Bogus recovers the fumble, and on the very next play, Brandon Foss finds Wyatt Williams in the flats. He gets away from the first tackler and takes off up the sideline. 65 yards later, and the Mustangs cut the lead in half. It's 12-6. Just before halftime, though, 4th and 20 for the Longhorns, and the gamble to go for it pays off. Giese to Brett Evans in the back corner of the end zone makes it 20-6 at halftime, and Fort Benton would pull away from there.
It's quarterfinal Saturday in the high school football playoffs, and here in Chester we got a rematch of a game which took place in week 2 as the home CJI Hawks look to avenge the first meeting's loss against the DGSG Bearcats.
Week 2 resulted in a 50-point win for the Bearcats, but this game was much different. Not a single score in the first quarter, but then DGSG strikes first, and check out Jacob Swans making one heck of a catch to make it 6-0. And right before half with the game tied, Brody Ridgway also makes an insane grab, and the Bearcats go up 14-6. From here, though, the Hawks took flight. Here's Ryland St. John scrambling, but finding an open Ryan Ramberg who plows through defenders to fight into the end zone. And after forcing a fumble, the Hawks have their first lead as St. John throws a beauty to Levi Nelson to give his guys a touchdown advantage. Next CJI drive, the Hawks find pay dirt again. This time it's Cooper Street who's wide open for 6. Then Dane Grammer scores his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and CGI outscores DGSG by 36 points in the second half to win 48-22. In Chester, Will Charlton, MTN Sports.
6-man quarterfinal action on this Saturday afternoon up in Absaroka as the Huskies play host to visiting Power Dutton Brady, and a spot in the semifinals on the line. Titans on the board first in this one. Some evasive running by Mason Vick as he scampers in for 6 before taking a huge shot. Huskies answer back. Corey Polkowski breaking some arm tackles, hits the Jets, and then delivers one more mean stiff arm before he waltzes in for the score. And then Polkowski shows that he can throw it around a little bit too. Buys some time and then finds Marshall Hull for 6 on the Huskies lead. Vic, though, given the Absorki defense fits, scrambles around again, and this time finds Isaiah Schuler down inside the 5-yard line. Then the Titans dig into the bag of tricks. Tanner Vick with the halfback pass to Mason Vick for the score. And Power Dutton Brady goes on the road and upsets Absorki to move into the semis.
At Carroll College, the Saints welcome the College of Idaho with a potential conference title and postseason berth on the line. MTN's Johnny Walker has highlights from the Hilltop.
It's a top 15 NAIA matchup right here in Nelson Stadium as Carroll College hosts College of Idaho. And the stakes, well, they couldn't be higher. Today's winner locks up the Frontier West Division title and secures an automatic bid to the national playoffs. Yote's offense looking unstoppable today. That's QB Caden Young into the end zone, and he'll show off for the opposing crowd. Late in the second quarter, Carroll down 19-7, and it seemed like everything was bouncing Sea of Ice way. Very next play, Young launches one into double coverage, and Shane Runyon somehow comes down with it. Now Carroll would get this back to a 2-score game in the fourth quarter. But ultimately, College of Idaho stands tall, wins the Frontier West, and clinches an automatic playoff berth.
When we come back, history in Polson. We're recapping the Pirates' first title in program history next on Sports Extra.
We'll be right back with more MTN Sports Extra. Welcome back to MTN Sports Extra, powered by MontanaSports.com.
Last weekend, the Polson boys soccer team took home its first state championship in program history after beating some of the top teams in Class Single A. MTN's Derek Joseph has the story on what this championship means to the Pirates players and coaches.
For the first time in program history, Polson boys soccer is the Class A state champion. Becoming the first soccer champs in the school's history is an achievement that has not quite settled in for the Pirates players.
To be honest, I didn't even realize that, but that's amazing. I mean, it's going to be so fun seeing the banner go up and just remembering that was us.
The long and tough road to this mountaintop began 4 years ago when Polson head coach Josie Lease took the helm. Lease says coming into this year, there was only one thing keeping this year's Pirate squad from becoming a championship caliber team.
I think it was just gaining confidence. That's what the boys lacked the most. I always knew they were good athletes, good soccer players, but just gaining the confidence and learning that they can do it. So this year, I knew if they could win their conference that they would have the confidence they needed going in, and so that was a huge win for them.
The journey to the state championship included a shootout win over the top-seeded Columbia Falls, along with a 4-0 victory over Whitefish, two programs considered to be the best in Class A. Now, after making subtle improvements over the past few years, the Pirates have finally eclipsed both those programs to be the best in the state.
We never made it past the first round in my freshman, sophomore, and junior seasons, but and we were losing to Whitefish like 8-0. Like my freshman year, but we finally came back this year, and this is our first year we beat them. First time ever.
And it is no surprise to Coach Lease that her players finally beat those teams after watching them grow in the past 4 years.
We have 8 seniors this year, all of who have been with us for the full 4 years, and so they were all the leaders this year. You know, if you ask me who my number one, go-to player is, I can't even name one because I have 8 of them.
In Polson, Derek Joseph, MTN Sports.
Well, the Montana Grizzly soccer team is one win away from another Big Sky Conference title. MTN's Kyle Hansen shows us how they got there.
For the second straight year, the University of Montana hosted the Big Sky Conference soccer tournament right here at South Campus Stadium. And the Montana Grizzlies were once again the #1 seed, earning a bye into Friday's semifinal. And their opponent on the other side, the Idaho Vandals. Now let's see who punched their ticket to the championship game, which will be played on Sunday. Set piece here for Idaho, and they make sure to cash it in as Sarah Rogers sends this one into the back of the net, and just like that, it's 1-0 in the 9th minute. Later in the first half, it's the Grizzlies with the response. Kaylee Kerr puts it in the box, Reagan Brizendine shoots, it's saved, but Eliza Bentler is there for the rebound for the Grizzlies, and just like that, that ties this one at 1 apiece, and that's where this one stays until halftime. Second half now, and it's the 53rd minute, and it's Bentler returning the favor as she finds Brizendine, and she sends it home for the Grizzlies, and that makes this one 2-1. But you'll never believe this finish. Just 11 seconds left in the game. Idaho, with one more set piece off the foul, they send the miracle kick forward, and it's Rogers again with the improbable goal, hitting it just right into the perfect spot. So this one ends at regulation, 2-2, so we head to extra time. Ashlyn Dvorak was not to be denied in this one, as she had an incredible save as Idaho was on the attack once again, and after 2 scoreless periods of overtime, we head to penalty kicks. Once again, it's Dvorak stepping up as she defends Idaho's first attempt, then second attempt for the Grizzlies, and they find the goal as it's Brizendine again, then another attempt for Idaho, and once again it's Dvorak with a huge save, and after that it's Maddie Dida scoring for the Grizzlies as they take a 2-1 lead. Later, Eliza Bentler scores for Montana to make it 3-1, and on the final attempt, the shot is wide, and the Grizzlies win a thriller over the Vandals 3-1 in penalty kicks in a great match between the two programs, and for the first time since 2021, Montana is heading to the Big Sky Championship game, which will be at 1 p.m. on Sunday against Weber State. Reporting in Missoula, Kyle Hansen, MTN Sports.
Well, you don't see this every day, a college goalkeeper scoring from her own goal box. We'll show you the incredible kick that made Rocky Mountain College soccer history. That's next.
Welcome back to MTN Sports Extra, powered by MontanaSports.com.
Well, it's a highlight you have to see to believe. A freshman goalkeeper at Rocky Mountain College scores a goal from nearly the entire length of the field. MTN's Scott Breen shows us how it happened and how she tried to do it again.
Scott Breen at Rocky Mountain College, and this is exactly the type of thing that just doesn't happen. Recently, Rocky freshman goalkeeper Matea Vernon took a couple of steps from inside her own goal box, jacked one deep, it hopped over some defenders, and one goalie scored on the other.
It took some weird, crazy bounces in the air and then rolled in, and everybody started running at me, and it was so fun.
With this wild punt, Matea scored the longest goal in Rocky soccer history on the way to a 6-0 win over Warner Pacific University.
I was a little confused because I thought the defender got it, but then Ash, the center back, she came and started running at me. I was like, oh my gosh, I scored!
You honestly can't watch this video too many times. It's a fabulous feat Vernon says she's never achieved, even in youth soccer, or even seen live. Before a recent practice, we wanted to see if she could recreate it with a similar tailwind and no pressure on Rocky's empty field.
I'm not wearing cleats either, so you got to give me some grace.
Now, we didn't want her to pull a muscle, so after a couple of close-range warm-ups, she let it fly, had the distance, and certainly would have bounced one in with another attempt or two. But the bigger challenge was whether she could coach this old guy into at least coming close.
I do a weird run-up. 2, 3.
Oh, it faded. I didn't get nearly enough run at that.
That was pretty good.
There's no video evidence, but it did go in. I have 1 semester of eligibility left. Turns out the Oregon freshman is a pretty good coach. Matea has heard from a mountain of family, friends, and old club teammates. She earned the shutout win over Warner Pacific, helped Rocky's women return to the conference tournament, and locked up the memory of a lifetime.
I was just really excited and in shock almost. I would have never thought I could do that.
Scott Breen, MTN Sports.
That's our time for this edition of Sports Extra. Thanks for joining us. And remember, the conversation continues online at MontanaSports.com, where you can find updated high school football playoff pairings, divisional volleyball results ahead of the All-Class State Tournament in Bozeman next weekend. Have a great night. We'll see you next week on Sports Extra.